Los Angeles Rams versus Indianapolis Colts. This Rams-Colts preview goes through, it's going to give you fantasy football predictions for both the Rams and the Colts. It's going to give you game projections. But before we get rolling here, I want you to comment below. Tell me what your game prediction is. What's your score? Who are the fantasy busts? Who are the fantasy sleepers? Who are the fantasy breakouts this week? Now, this Rams versus Colts game, I think it's an interesting one because I really respect the way the Colts play football. They play good defense. I actually liked the addition of Carson Wentz, kind of reuniting with Frank Reich at head coach. Obviously, the Rams brought in their quarterback of their own, right? They have Matt Stafford, who looked really, really, really good on Sunday Night Football. I'm not going to use the word great because that was used so much for Matthew Stafford this week. He looked good. It was week one. Sean McVay, they were clicking. Is this going to be a sign of things to come for the Rams? I don't know. Is Stafford going to have the same kind of impact on the Rams that Brady had last season for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Meaning, will they make it to the Super Bowl? I don't know. Time will tell. But what I was most interested in with the Los Angeles Rams is defense. I didn't like that they lost Staley. Last year, the defensive coordinator, who is now the head coach for the Los Angeles Chargers. Basically across the street there. I didn't like that they lost him. I had questions about how this defense was going to click. They looked really good. So that kind of answered the question. I was less concerned about the offense. This offense is going to get going. And by the way, I'm less concerned about the running game. I know some people are thinking, Darrell Henderson, can he really? He's going to be fine. McVay, I like his play calling. They're going to stick to the run. Sony Michel, I don't think he's a threat. I think Darrell Henderson's going to go there. But let me just dig right in then, since we're talking about the Rams, to their fantasy football projections. Matthew Stafford, 17.6. To me, that's kind of an average number in terms of my computer projections for a quarterback. To me, that's middle of the pack. Now, this is, for me, again, this is kind of a bigger week for me because last week I had Stafford projected to score well. This week I have him middle of the pack. If he scores against what I think is a tough Indianapolis Colts defense, then now we're talking. I'm not going to lose my mind over what he did on Sunday Night Football. It was a great game, not taking anything away, but I want to see multiple games. Darrell Henderson, 10.9, that's not a great projection, and it's nothing against Darrell Henderson here. It's just that the Colts usually play good run defense. Last week they were awful against Seattle. Let's see if they come back, and I'll get more into the Colts defense in a little bit. Sony Michel, not a great projection. Robert Woods, 12.3. Cooper Kupp, 14.0. And even Van Jefferson getting on the fun, 10.1. I think this is receiving day. I should say a receiving day for the Rams. Again, not because Matthew Stafford needs to be fit for his gold jacket and go right into Canton or anything like that. I just like the matchup. The Colts are generally a team that you can pass on a little bit easier than run on, so we'll see. Tyler Higbee has a decent game, not a, hey, you got to go start Tyler Higbee or pick him up off your waivers or anything like that kind of game. But really, I think this is about Woods and Cooper Kupp. Those are the guys I like in fantasy matchups. Stafford throws maybe 2 touchdowns I have projected this week, maybe 3. We'll see. Now, the Indianapolis Colts, I don't care that they lost to Seattle. What I do care about, or I should say this, I don't care that the Indianapolis Colts offense didn't look great. Now, I don't think they looked bad, but to me, the problem was that Seattle did whatever they wanted to in the run game for most of that game there. So, the Colts, are they a bad team? No, I still think the Colts are the best team in the AFC South, but I think they're going to have to find their way because their offense, to me, is not ready to put up 35 points a game. Their defense has to be the leaders of this team for at least the first 4 weeks of the season. I mean, lead them, because the offense might take a little while to catch up. Remember, Wentz had an injury. It's not that he wasn't playing. It's not that he was being sat during preseason and being rested to make sure he was healthy. He was injured, so that means he lost reps in the preseason. It's going to take him a little while to get acclimated, and you can see a projection of 13.0. That's a bad projection for quarterbacks. I don't think Wentz is a bad quarterback. I think he's a great fit for this team. I'm just staying away from him fantasy purposes this week. Jonathan Taylor, 14.1, even against a tough Rams defense. I think he's obviously a start. He's a start for me every week. I don't even care if his projection was like -5. I don't care. I'm starting Jonathan Taylor, and you should too. Naheem Hines, an 8.8. I actually think this is a week that he's going to beat that projection. I think the Colts are going to want to hit him in the outlet a little bit more, especially against the Rams, who are going to have a really good pass rush, as we always know. Pittman, Pascal, Campbell, they're going to struggle while Wentz kind of gets his footing in this offense and gets his chemistry with the receivers. So what I'm looking for is good completion percentage, which, by the way, I think he had that last week, but I'm also looking for yards per attempt. So once I start to see those things climb, I'll feel a little bit better starting them in terms of fantasy football. Jack Doyle, Mo Alley Cox, by the way, I think is better than Jack Doyle, but Jack Doyle is still getting the lion's share of the snaps. I shouldn't say lion's share. He's getting more snaps. Mo Alley Cox, but I have him as a decent projection, 8.73. The problem for me is I never know which Colts tight end is going to get the touchdown because I like Alley Cox a little bit better on the goal line, so I'm just kind of staying away from them. Now, my computer projection, by the way, the Los Angeles Rams are favored on the road versus the Colts. Los Angeles Rams -3.5 versus the Indianapolis Colts. My computer projection has the Colts easily covering that spread, 31-18. Now, I don't think the game is going to be that big of a blowout. I don't think the Rams are going to handle the Indianapolis Colts, but I do think the Rams cover. I have the Rams at somewhere around like 28-24, maybe 27, 24, that 3 to 4 point range. If I'm going to slide on one way or the other on a 3.5, I'm going to slide towards the Rams covering that 3.5 point spread. So Colts fans, tell me why I am wrong. Rams fans, tell me why I am right. Comment below. Let's hear it. I'd love to hear from you. We'll probably try to do a reaction to this game as well on Sunday, so keep an eye out for that. Everybody, please like, comment, subscribe. We'll catch you again soon.